In this video, we're going to talk about soft polygonal modeling, and also we will continue from the previous video when we talk about the hard polygonal modeling in Maya. So we're gonna continue to use the polygonal modeling tools that we find here in Maya, and we started with something simple like cubes, and we created something a little bit more complex like the exterior wall here of an apartment. And also we created doors openings and windows openings, and also some hard-edged furniture, like for example bookshelves. And this is something that is really easy and quick to do using polygon modeling tools, quicker than using NURBS tools in my opinion. Well, it's a little bit more approximate than using curves and CAD drawings and NURBS modeling, but it's definitely faster and can help you to create pretty complex objects in a really short time. So in this video, again, we will continue here and check some other tools and features. First of all, let's go to options here. In the viewport options, we can turn on something more in the performance. I'm going to show you one particular setting, which is ambient occlusion, which is pretty useful when you need to do modeling, because it's going to show you where well, those soft shadows there that are caused by the absence of lighting. So we're gonna talk about lights later, but just let's activate this here, screen space ambient occlusion. You can see how the viewport changes radically, and you're gonna understand better the spaces there, and the you can see those openings and the walls attachments are gonna look better, and also those there you go, those shelves are gonna look better in the bookshelves. So I definitely suggest you activate ambient occlusion to have a better look of what you are modeling in the viewport. And well, this is just one first tip, so let's move on. You also will find ambient occlusion in render engines usually, so it's a pretty realistic effect, and you can see some V-Ray videos for that you can find in the channel. Just search for ambient occlusion in the channel. Okay, I will create here again a cube. Let's start always with a cube. So again, we will start real simple, and then we will increase the level of difficulty. So just gonna set up the units here. So I'm gonna set 40 centimeters times 40 times 40. This is a generic cube, but can be used as a starting point to create some furniture. For example, seats and like chairs or armchairs or stools. Usually they are 45 centimeters high, or well, for high stools probably you can arrive to more, to 60 or 50, but this is kind of a starting point. And again, it's just like we said in other videos, we will do this really approximate based on the scale that we have here in the scene. So based on the plan view, on the architecture, on the walls, we're gonna start to try to size in a correct way here our chair. So we'll also create here a plane, because I don't want to have that plan view down there anymore. I want to create a normal pavement, a standard pavement. So I can use the plane command, and later we will assign a material to that, like a parquet or some tiles or something a little bit more different. We don't need that reference anymore. I show you in the video concerning the first polygonal modeling and the NURBS modeling how we can use references, but right now we don't need them anymore. And besides, you can see there that it's gonna look awkward. It's gonna generate that strange flickering effect, those strange lines on the pavement. And again, this is something I already told in another video. Be careful not to make two surfaces perfectly overlap or being perfectly in the exact place. in this case in the epsilon position. So you can see here I'm putting down a little bit, moving down the image a little bit so that it doesn't get completely intersected with the plane. So be careful not to intersect polygons again. Be careful to be precise for that. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems when you create renderings and animations later. I can also deactivate image planes from the view and the show menu because I don't really need it right now. So I just need a pavement and I'm gonna scale it like that. Also, it's okay. I'm gonna move it into position. And again, there you go. You can see the ambient occlusion down in the bottom part of the walls and in the bottom part here of this cube. So again, this is why ambient occlusion is helpful, because the scene will look less flat and you can like be more comfortable with it. It is gonna be better to model and to navigate in the viewport. Okay, let's get back to our cube and let's start talking about subdivisions. Now, I'm gonna shift and move this and create a copy. So shift and the move tool to create a copy, or you can do Control D. And then I want to start with this first editing tool, which is called the Bevel. Now, the Bevel is going to affect the corners or the exterior edges of your shape. Now, in this case, it's creating this effect like this, but I can change it. I can go to the Bevel panel here and change. Now let's select that again. Let's see. Okay, so this is the fraction, which means the part that is going to be chamfered, and then I can increase the segments. You can see how if I increase the segments, I'm going to increase the curviness of those corners. So again, we already talked about this. We also have convex and concave here, and then we have smoothing angle. Now, the smoothing is something, again, it's a kind of an effect that is gonna make your curves look even more soft. So it's kind of a soften parameter which will increase the soft look of your curves and of your curvy surfaces. Otherwise, they're gonna look like faceted. So they're gonna look like they have faces. Okay, so you can see now that starting from the first cube, this one, the second one, is already looking more realistic in terms of highlights and shadows. In the overall looking is better. Why? Because nothing in reality has sharp corners or totally sharp corners. Everything, including architecture or furniture, yes, we can create them as a really hard surfaces with really straight corners, but in the end, that's not gonna look pretty realistic. So this is pretty useful suggestions. Be careful always to chamfer a little bit, even a millimeter or a centimeter, depending on the scale, any straight corner. Don't leave any straight corner like that. In V-Ray, which is our render engine, you will find a material effect that is gonna chamfer out the corners. This is to explain to you how much is important. Now I'm creating another copy here. Again, you can do it with Control C, Control V, copying, and you can do whatever you want. And I am adding subdivisions here using the Add Divisions tool inside the toolkit. And let me show you here. Let's go in the attribute editor. So you either go from here, you can add subdivisions first and use them later, or you can add subdivisions later, as we just did with the third cube there. And we already saw how we can do that also with the slice tool and the other cutting tools. So you can see here that we have a lot of subdivisions, but they are concentrated on the corners. Right here, they are like more even. They are distributed inside the polygon. So here we only have those in the corners, and right here we have the subdivisions evenly spaced. So let's go here again in the modeling toolkit, and I'm gonna hit the smooth tool. Now look what happens if I use the smooth tool. Smooth tool is again kind of a smoothing effect that is going to be applied onto the object, but it's going to increase the number of polygons even more. So we can say that these are, well, both the fillet or chamfer and the smooth tool are actually smoothing out the objects, creating more polygons. So we need actual polygons to have that effect. And on top of that, we have a smoothing effect that is gonna make our objects look more curvy. Now let's go again